Now, global leader in traffic, TomTom, has published its 4th annual Global Traffic Index. Daan Hendrickx, TomTom's country manager, has more for us at the desk. Daan, thank you so much for making the time to join us. Belgian, I understand.
I was going to say, don't ask him about the traffic yet.
Yeah, don't ask him about the football first. So what makes you think you're going to win?
I think we've got a great team. We haven't joined the World Cup for a long time, and finally we're there and we're going to make some impression, I think and I believe.
Now, but people have heard your name, Daan Hendrickx. You're thinking Holland, Nederland?
It's a bit better, it's Belgium.
Belgium.
A bit better, I like that. Let's talk about the traffic reports. Have there been any major shifts and changes from the report that we've had last year to what we have today?
I think there was a bit of a change in measurement. So what we've done is we've taken much more alternative routes into account. So that's why the result has shifted a bit. And what we have seen is that now, you know, Cape Town is the most congested city in South Africa instead of Johannesburg. When we look at the detail, what you can see is that the congestion level on the highways is much higher than in other cities. So that brings up the overall congestion level, and that is probably the reason why it's now the most congested city in South Africa.
I love to hear this because it's a reason not to be in Cape Town and to be in Johannesburg instead. But just take us back a step, Daan, and tell us how you get this information, because I presume it's the people out there in the traffic jams really that is your resource material.
Yeah, so with the support of millions of TomTom users, we have captured anonymous travel time information in more than 40 countries around the world. And over the years we have built the world's largest database of historical travel information. So we know exactly of every single road in these markets, how long it takes people to travel from Sandton to Fourways. We know that on a Monday morning, on a Tuesday afternoon, on a Saturday.
Have e-tolls got to do with anything in terms of Johannesburgers getting off the highways and maybe looking for alternative routes?
Well, probably not for this report, because we have compared 2013 with 2012. e-toll only kicked off at the end of 2013. So probably next year we will probably see a clear impact of the e-toll on the whole congestion level.
We're seeing that graphic, sorry Dave, with those sparkly red marks. What does that mean, Daan, when it does that?
So what we do is when we measure traffic, and we bring that to the devices, to the TomTom devices, that's exactly how you see traffic. So what you do is a red arrow will tell you that on that street there's a traffic, there's a congestion, and what the device will be doing is every 2 minutes it will look for an alternative and try to guide you around these congested areas, and that's quite interesting.
So it tells, now I'm in the car now, I want to use this. I download the app and then I'm connected with you.
Well, there's two ways to do it. First of all, you can, before you leave, you can go to the website and you can already take a look at, you know, the situation, and you can make a smart decision and say, listen, I'm going to stay home because, you know, it's completely hectic. What you can do is when you use a TomTom device, you know, they come with traffic information. So when you switch on the device, automatically you have that overview. And every 2 minutes we will re-look at your situation, and if we find an alternative, we will tell you automatically go left instead of right.
Now, I know we've spoken about Cape Town, Johannesburg from a city perspective, but where does South Africa rank as a country compared to other developed, and I refer to developed markets because of the level of our infrastructure. Are we more congested than they are?
What we have seen, we haven't really compared countries, we've compared cities. For example, Cape Town is ranked number 33 in the world, but then Bloem, for example, is only at the 138th spot. So I think it depends from city to city.
What's number one, the most crowded?
That is Moscow. Yeah. So the congestion level is 74%. What it means is that whenever you travel in the city, you need to add 74% to your travel time.
What about cities like Cairo and Mumbai and places like that? I've driven in Cairo in Egypt. It's actually quite easy in the sense that people aren't aggressive. They're always being courteous, they're helping each other, but there's a lot of traffic and it is very congested. Where do they rate? Well,
to be able to measure it, we need to have TomTom devices in the market, and we don't actively sell in Cairo as yet. Okay. So we have a snapshot of about 180 cities.
So who's number one on your list?
That is Moscow, and it is Cape Town for South Africa. But if you, again, you know, we need to sell devices to be able to measure the traffic information, so that's quite important.
Interesting. So we now know why we're not moving to Cape Town.
Is anyone using the information to make things better? I mean, you must have proprietary information which can help.
Well, the idea of the report is if you want to tackle congestion, the first thing you need to do is you need to know where is the congestion, okay? And that's exactly what we do. We can tell you where we have congested areas, and only then you can start working on a solution. So traffic authorities can use these reports to actually redesign or relook at the mobility plan of a city. We've done that in Europe with many governments where we work together, and that's exactly the idea. You know, that information is available, and we want to actually, together with authorities, want to see how can we, you know, improve the traffic flow in every single city.
Well, just a final one, Dan. I mean, we've spoken about to a large extent just looking at that congestion. Are there any changes in the reports where you see certain cities that have improved drastically from being congested and have ranked downwards actually in the index?
It's difficult to say, because what you see some cities, you know, moving up, and because of that, you know, you see other cities moving down. For example, the congestion level, the morning peak traffic in Cape Town last year was one of the worst, and now it's only at the 10th spot. It meant that other cities went up, you know, had a worse increase than Cape Town. But for example, for Cape Town, it means that in the morning you need to add 71% to your travel time. And I think one of the other key findings of the report was that we've seen that the alternative routes, so people often try to avoid highways to take the alternative route.
We'll have to stop there, I'm afraid,
Okay,
Daan, and good luck for Belgium in the World Cup.
Thank you.
We'll be rooting for you now that you've been in our studio. That was Daan Hendrickx, who is TomTom's country manager on traffic congestion.